Good afternoon. I'm Chris Scherer, Member Communications Director of the Society of Broadcast Engineers, and welcome to the July 2025 SBE WEBxtra, the SBE chapter of the web. This is a monthly SBE meeting, usually held on the third Monday of the month, but we're presenting it 1 week early this time because of the subject. The SBE is the Association for Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Professionals, with more than 4,000 members, mostly in the U.S., but also around the world. Today's SBE WEBxtra is a chance for you to meet the candidates in the current SBE election of officers and directors. The ballots for the current election were emailed or mailed to SBE members on July 14. I'll get into more details about the SBE election shortly, but first, I have the SBE member update for July 14, 2025. There is a Webinars by SBE on the calendar, Designing for High Availability from Physical to Virtualized Network Functions, streams on July 31 at 2 p.m. Eastern. This webinar revisits MTBF, MTTR, and the role of redundancy in physical broadcast systems and extends them into today's hybrid environments, where physical infrastructure coexists with virtual machines, cloud-native platforms, and containerized network functions. Ruben Calzadia is the instructor. You can always access the entire library of Webinars by SBE on demand. For more information on these and all the Webinars by SBE, go to sbe.org/webinars. The next chapter exam window is in August. The application deadline for those exams is now behind us, so after that there's a local exam window in November. The application deadline for that is September 4. If you don't want to wait, or if a local chapter exam is not convenient for you or not possible because of in-person restrictions, private proctoring is available. More information on SBE certification is online at sbe.org/certification. Registration is open for the 2025 SBE Leadership Development course. You don't want to miss this 3-day, highly interactive classroom course designed to take technically adept people and instill in them sound leadership, supervisory, and management skills. The SBE Leadership Development course will be held October 8 to 10 in Los Angeles. Come, enjoy, learn, and have some fun growing as a leader in the process. Details at sbe.org/LDC. And that's your SBE member update for July 14, 2025. This edition of the SBE WEBxtra is a little different because we're going to hear from 15 different people. The SBE exists because of the volunteer efforts of members like you at the local and national level. We're going to meet the candidates in the current SBE election. The candidates' names and some information is included in the June issue of The Signal, on the SBE website, and in the voting materials sent to each member. Today we'll hear from the candidates so you can get to know each one a little bit better. Each year, the SBE Nominations Committee assembles a group of capable members from all corners of the field of broadcast engineering to run and serve if elected. All candidates for national office are either regular, senior, or life members of the SBE, or are the designated representative of an SBE sustaining member and in good standing. All candidates must hold a current SBE engineering level certification and are required to maintain that certification through all terms of office. All elected directors serve at an at-large capacity. Each year, the Nominations Committee begins work in February and concludes by the end of April to compile a slate of candidates for the upcoming election. SBE members in good standing who want to run for a director or officer position should contact the Nominations Committee chair. Nominations can also be made from the general membership. For 1 month, beginning in July, the election for the National Board of Directors will take place. Most SBE members receive their unique ballots by email and cast their ballots online. Some members, those without an email address or who chose to opt out of online voting, will receive a paper ballot. For 2025, all votes are due on August 13. An election board of tellers reviews the tallied results to certify the election. Those who are elected will be inducted into office during the SBE National Meeting held in the fall. To be eligible, the individual must be a member in good standing and hold an SBE engineering level certification throughout the election and elected term. Any voting member in good standing, by letter to the SBE Secretary, not less than 45 days prior to the election date, may propose and nominate a candidate, and the name of any eligible candidate so proposed by 10 members or more shall be entered on the ballot. All candidates for officer or director, whether proposed by the nominations committee or nominated by a voting member, shall meet the candidacy requirements no later than 45 days prior to the election date. That's June 29, 2025, this year. There are term limits for officers and directors. Officers serve one-year terms. That's the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Directors serve two-year terms. There are 12 directors, and half of them are elected every year. Directors may serve up to 3 consecutive terms. The president and vice president may serve up to 2 consecutive terms. The secretary and treasurer may serve up to 4 consecutive terms. One person may serve up to 10 consecutive years in office. So let's meet the candidates for the 2025 SBE election. Each candidate submitted a video and was allowed up to 3.5 minutes to say whatever he or she wanted. It was suggested each candidate mention their current job title and employer, provide info about their professional background in broadcasting, note any distinguishing honors, and then outline the goals and why he or she is a candidate. Here are the candidates for the officer positions. Kevin Trueblood, President. Gary Morrill, Vice President. Gregory Dahl and Charles Ched Kyler, Treasurer. And Shane Toven, Secretary. To begin, here's Kevin Trueblood, candidate for president.
Hi, I'm Kevin Trueblood, candidate for president with the Society of Broadcast Engineers. I am excited about the opportunity to lead an association that I have been a very active member of since 2008. I currently serve as the SBE Vice President, and before that, I was Treasurer, Secretary, and have been on the Board of Directors since 2017. I've also been the chapter chair for 2 local chapters. For me, this is an opportunity to give back to an association that has given me so much throughout my career. I've been able to network with engineers both locally and around the world, which has given me resources to do my job better, in addition to providing opportunities that I wouldn't have otherwise found. Let's acknowledge the reality of where we are as an industry. To state the obvious, a lot has changed. Broadcasting as a medium still has a wide reach, but it's struggling. There have been layoffs, cutbacks, and dwindling budgets. But despite that, the demand for a good broadcast engineer is greater than ever. The skill sets required have also changed. While Smith charts and slide rules are still as useful and effective as they've always been, today's engineers are speaking new languages with networking, streaming protocols, and different standards for different devices for people to consume content. Whether the medium you broadcast on is a transmitter, a stadium video board, or even the phone in your hand, the times are rapidly changing, and the SBE is here to help you develop your career. I have a few priorities that I'd like to work on in the upcoming year. Most of those begin with developing a comprehensive strategic plan. This will create a unified effort to grow our membership base, as well as help us find ways to provide more opportunities for education, certification, and strengthen our position in the industry for the future. This will certainly be a group effort, and I welcome any and all feedback along the way to make that plan effective. A big driver of that will also be looking at ways to grow non-dues revenue. While we're financially strong already, growing our finances will help us drive even more growth. I also want to make sure our members are engaged and seeing value in being part of this association. Whether it's in your local chapter, on social media, or on digital platforms when it's convenient for you, your membership should have value to you, and you should feel valued to be part of this association. There's a lot of work to do, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to serve you as the next SBE president. Thank you for your support.
Here's Gary Morrill, candidate for vice president.
I am Gary Morrill, and I'm on your ballot this year seeking your vote for the office of Vice President. I've invested the last 6 years serving our membership at the national level, first as a board member, then as secretary, and this last year as your treasurer. With your support, I intend to continue my service to the Society as Vice President. Upon my election to the National Board in 2019, then President Wayne Pacina asked me to chair our Education Committee, which I've had the pleasure of doing since that time. This has been a real labor of love for me, as I've been involved with education for the past couple decades. Upon re-election, should President Trueblood so choose, it would be my honor to continue serving in this capacity. When the pandemic brought a lockdown in 2020, because of our experience in creating webinars that could be attended live as well as on demand after, our value in educating our membership on the latest trends, as well as providing baseline education for new entrants into the field, has grown significantly. We continue to expand both our offerings and our pool of presenters at the same time. The latter affords an opportunity to expand our workshop offerings as well. Whether an NS workshop at the NAB convention, a state broadcaster conference, or local chapter event, our ability to bring our membership high value education at an affordable price point is very important to me. Looking forward, we continue identifying areas in the technology world that use much the same hardware and applications for content creation and distribution that we do, with intent towards providing educational content for both our existing membership and those in parallel industries. By coupling this with expertise that the certification committee has developed in delivering technical competence measurement, I believe we can grow our membership while introducing new individuals to the world of broadcast engineering as a career. The latest step is the introduction of our Certified Production Technologist level of certification, which happened this past year. The SBE is now an even stronger sustaining resource to the technical media world. As you may have surmised, these initiatives require effective husbanding of all SBE resources. It's here I feel uniquely suited to be of further service to management of our society. I have a background overseeing the technical resources of a region encompassing 24 individual markets across 10 states for my current employer, including evaluation of current operations and distribution of funding for capital improvement projects. I've also been in the position of making important decisions as president, general manager, and co-owner of a broadcast station, from filing the construction permit, surviving the comparative hearing process, building the facility from scratch, hiring and developing a staff, launching the station, and several years later, selling the property. These experiences have served me well, and I believe they'll be of benefit to the society in both our current and future efforts as well. It takes a team effort to effectively run any enterprise, and team members need to be willing to both lead, follow, and follow through, depending on specific circumstances. To achieve our goals, there's going to be a lot of work involved. One thing's certain, there's no honorary positions here, and it's certainly not a popularity contest. People need to know that they can count on you, and you need to be willing and able to roll up your sleeves and work. That's one thing I've never shied away from since growing up on a working family farm, and I have no intention of starting to do so now. That's why I'm asking for your support in electing me to serve as your vice president this year, and I thank you for your consideration.
Here's Gregory Dahl, one of 2 candidates for treasurer.
My name is Gregory Dahl. I am currently a member of the SBE with a certification of professional broadcast engineer and elected to the board of directors, assigned to the executive and sustaining members committee. I am a candidate for the SBE treasurer. I have over 3 decades, closer to 4, of broadcast-related knowledge and experience. I am the president of Second Opinion Communications, also co-founder of The Next Best Thing, a media tour. Over 20 years as a member of the Midwest Regional Broadcasters Clinic Programming Committee, additionally a member of the NAB Radio Technology Committee. My dedication to the broadcast multimedia industry is further demonstrated with my active engagement in mentoring and supporting emerging professionals in the field. I have contributed countless hours to fostering innovation and collaboration, ensuring that the next generation of broadcasters is well equipped to face the challenges of tomorrow. My leadership philosophy is grounded in integrity, forward thinking, and a commitment to excellence. Values I believe are essential to the role of SBE treasurer. The SBE treasurer, I aim to bring the same level of dedication and strategic insight into the financial stewardship of the society. I firmly believe in fostering transparency and accountability, ensuring that every decision made aligns with the long-term interest of the SBE and its members. My approach will focus on optimizing resources to support critical innovations such as professional development, technology advancement, and member services. Together, we can continue to build on the strong foundation of the SBE and evaluate our collective impact on the broadcast multimedia industry. Please consider casting your vote for Gregory Dahl as SBE Treasurer.
Here's Ched Kyler, the other candidate for treasurer.
Greetings to you all. My name is Ched Kyler, and I am running for treasurer of the Society of Broadcast Engineers to represent you, my fellow broadcast engineer. I am a member of SBE 53 in South Florida. I also serve as chapter chairman for Chapter 53. I am also actively involved with local frequency coordination within our organization, both nationally and locally. I currently work for E3 Services and WPLG in South Florida and have worked for HC2 Broadcasting, ISC, Ion Media Networks, Paxson Communications, which together are now the broadcasting arm of Scripps, Reach Communications, and South Florida PBS, among other broadcast radio and television facilities. For more than 25 years, I have been an active member within SBE. I have also been involved with broadcasting for more than 35 years. I hold a number of SBE certifications as well as other certifications from various organizations. I have also served with other organizations such as the National Translator Association, previously as vice president of that organization, the Association of Federal Communications Consulting Engineers, SEMPTE, IEEE BTS, AXIA, and Infocom. I am currently serving on the board of directors of SBE and am chairman of the Government Relations Committee and have been involved with other committees. The Government Relations Committee has moved forward on many initiatives to protect the broadcast industry and to protect the role of broadcast engineers. We are moving forward with educational programs to better enhance the role of the broadcast engineer within our industry. It was under my direction that SBE developed the guides, which are a replacement for the old alternative broadcast inspection checklist that the FCC used to produce and distribute. These guides have become very popular within the broadcast industry and amongst broadcast engineers. We continue to work on revisions to the guides as the industry changes. The Society of Broadcast Engineers serves an important role within our broadcast industry. We need to continue to engage with other professionals to become members of our organization, encourage content developers and IT professionals to engage with us, embrace new technologies, educate and inform on legislative issues, and continue with our frequency coordination efforts. SBE needs to keep members current within the dynamics of our broadcast industry. During my term on the board, we have undertaken aggressive roles with legislative goals, education, and frequency coordination. I would continue to further these efforts and search out new strategies engaging other professionals in our industry. I appreciate your continued support in our efforts to improve our organization within our industry. Thank you.
And here's Shane Tovin, candidate for secretary.
Hi, I'm Shane Tovin. I'm your candidate for Secretary for Society of Broadcast Engineers. I'd like to thank you for your consideration. I've been in the business for about 30 years now at a variety of stations, everything from very small community stations all the way up to large national networks. One of my passions is teaching and educating the next generation of broadcast engineers. That's why I also serve on the education and certification committees. And I hope to continue that trend and continue to bring new broadcast engineers into the fold by looking at the kind of non-traditional sources for broadcast engineering talent, places that may already be doing a lot of the production, a lot of the things that we already do as broadcast engineers, like churches and anybody who's streaming, corporate AV, things like that, and kind of educating them about what we are, who we are, what we do, and maybe bring some new talent into the fold of broadcast engineering. So with that, I hope you would consider me as your candidate for secretary for the Secretary of Broadcast, or for the Society of Broadcast Engineers. Thank you.
And that's the slate of officer candidates. There are 10 candidates running for 6 open director seats. The candidates are Terry Dowds, Kirk A. Harnack, Brad Humphreys, Julieta Ibisheva, Josh Lynch, John Mackey, Dave Raitner, David Robakidze, Dustin Tatro, and Jeff Welton. We'll meet them in alphabetical order by last name. First is Terry Dowds.
Hello, my name is Terry Dowds, and I am running for my second term on the board of directors for the Society of Broadcast Engineers. I've learned a great deal in the past 2 years, and I'd like to continue my work in this regard. The SBE is an incredibly valuable organization to me as a broadcast engineer. I've been in broadcasting for 51 years, and I've learned an incredible amount from the offerings that are given to the members of the Society of Broadcast Engineers. I believe that the Society provides various services to the engineering community, such as engineering education, information on legal issues with broadcasting, help with international standards development and implementation, offering special seminars like our ENNIES conferences throughout the year, and documentation concerning new technologies and implementation via our newsletters and special webinars. Additionally, the Society offers the certification system, which can take an entering new engineer and bring them from entrance level to the CPBE, or the Certified Professional Broadcast Engineer certification. For me, this enables me to show my employer what I am capable of doing, whether I can do what they expect of me to be able to do as I work for their facility. When I came to the station, they asked if I would be willing to get my SBE certifications, and I took them up on it and have never looked back until I was able to get to the CPBE certification. With knowledge comes growth. To be able to move my employer forward and bring our station to new levels, which helps our viewers grow and become more informed. I'm also extremely thrilled with the Member Plus program of membership. I've always felt that my membership in SBE has enabled me to learn in many different ways, and varying offerings that are given through the webinars keep me abreast of new information offered by many experts in various areas of our industry. For the cost of about 2 webinars, I can watch them all and stay abreast of current information that I might not have had the opportunities to do without this benefit. The SBE is a service organization that moves our industry forward in a helpful way, done by members who hope to help everyone obtain their own goals. Through education, knowledge, and development, they bring our industry forward. As the industry continues to change, as the technology continues to evolve, SBE helps to bring this knowledge forward, to allow our fellow engineers to help their own employers and become the best engineers that they can be. I hope that you'll feel a similar way, and I'd appreciate your vote for staying as a member of the Board of Directors of the SBE. Thank you.
Here's Kirk Harnack.
Hey, I'm Kirk Harnack, and I'm honored to be running again for the SBE Board of Directors. You know, just like a lot of you, I've been in broadcast engineering for, over 40 years now, working hands-on and consulting with stations across the country, a couple overseas as well. And just like you, I've built studios and transmitter sites. And thanks to you, I've hosted now over 750 episodes of This Week in Radio Tech. So, yeah, I really like clean audio and lots of kilowatts to carry it on, and the blinking lights as well. And I also love sharing what I've learned and what my fellow engineers have to say as well. I hope you'll vote for me, and if elected, I'll focus on increasing the value of SBE membership, especially for the next generation of engineers. I want to help more students connect with local chapters, attend SBE events and meetings, and get that first SBE certification. You know, chapters like Tampa, Florida have shown that this approach works, and we can replicate that success nationwide. SBE has got to stay essential for all engineers, from the tech bench to the boardroom. And that means delivering relevant education, strong certification programs, and real networking opportunities that keep up with changing tech and shifting roles. So let's make sure our members remain informed, empowered, and indispensable So whether you're soldering cables or overseeing clusters or both, I'd really appreciate your vote. Let's move the SBE forward together. And hey, if you vote for me, I'll promise you this. You can keep watching TWiRT free of charge. Thanks.
This is Brad Humphreys.
Hello, and thank you for your support of the SBE. My name's Brad Humphreys, and I'm honored to stand here as a re-election candidate for the Society of Broadcast Engineers Board of Directors. This society represents a community of innovators, problem solvers, and forward thinkers, and I'm humbled to seek a leadership role in such an inspiring organization. For the past 22 plus years, I've worked in broadcasting and am the Director of Engineering for Beasley Media Group's Charlotte Cluster. I served as Chapter 45 Chairman for several years and received Engineer of the Year from that chapter and also from Beasley Media Group. My passion for this industry dates back, more than 30 years when I received my first amateur radio license. I achieved my extra class before I could legally drive, and that was back when you had to pass a 20-word per minute code test. I achieved my 5-band DXCC, worked all states triple play, worked all zones, and the DXCC Challenge Award. I also served as the technical coordinator for the South Carolina section of the American Radio Relay League and assistant director for the Roanoke division of the ARRL as well. In addition, I've also been the chair of the EAS committee for the past year and a half for the SBE. I think as a society, we need to grow, and we need to do that by getting new and younger people into the industry and the technical field. For the industry to thrive and to survive, we're going to need technical people. And right now we're losing more than we're gaining. I'm running for re-election because I believe in the power of this society. Our combined expertise has the potential to solve the industry's most technical challenges while welcoming, mentoring, and supporting the next generation of broadcast engineers. I want to thank each of you for your dedication to SBE and its mission, and look forward to your vote. Thank you for your time and considering me as a candidate.
Next is Julieta Ibisheva.
Hi, I'm Julieta Ibisheva, and I'm seeking re-election to continue my service on the SBE board. I currently serve as Director of Technology at WRC, one of the oldest TV stations in the United States, based in Washington, D.C. Originally, I'm from Bulgaria, but I moved to Hawaii in 2006, and that's where my journey in broadcast engineering began. I've had the chance to work in several TV stations across Hawaii in different roles, from chief engineer to operations manager and even producer. Each of these roles has taught me something new, helping me become a better engineer by learning every aspect of broadcast operations. I had the privilege of serving 2 terms on the SBE board, and I was the 5-0 chapter chair until I moved to DC in 2024. The experience I gained from working with such talented engineers was invaluable, and one of my proudest achievements was reviving the Hawaii chapter, bringing our engineers together once again before my move. SBE has long been an invaluable resource with unmatched educational content. As International Committee Chair, I'm excited to be part of its expanding international growth. My goal has always been to inspire the next generation of broadcast engineers, to help them find their passion and reach their full potential. If I have the honor of serving another term, I'd be thrilled to continue making a positive impact on this incredible field. When I'm not in the tech world, though, you can find me hiking, scuba diving, running marathons, or traveling. But my absolute favorite thing to do is spend time with my 3-year-old boy. Thank you for your vote and for supporting the future of broadcast engineering. Aloha.
And now, Josh Lynch.
Hi, my name is Josh Lynch. I'm the Director of Engineering and Operations at Draper Media in Salisbury, Maryland. From the time I was 18, I have worked in broadcasting. I started off as a video editor first. I was on the creative side for a number of years. I then transitioned into news operations, where I got my first taste of what it's like to be responsible for a technical part of an operation for a broadcast station. After that, I ended up freelancing for a while in a technical capacity, and then was able to get a job as a broadcast engineer for Draper in 2018. In the time since, I've been promoted to Director of Engineering and oversee all of our broadcast engineers and technical personnel in the execution of our goal. Through all of that, I have always been a tremendous proponent of lifelong education and lifelong learning. I think that SBE does a tremendous job of providing tools and resources to achieve this goal across a wide spectrum and wide gamut of knowledge. What I would like to see is an expansion of that. We all know the industry is changing. We all know that the needs are evolving on a daily basis, and we're all being asked to do more with less, while also reckoning with the fact that there are less and less people entering the field in this capacity. It can be tremendously challenging to find the right talent that have the knack for what we do. As such, I have pivoted the other way in our own operation. I have tried to find people that have the aptitude and the attitude to be able to do this, that are excited by the technology, that have technical acumen across any one of the competencies that are required to be successful. In doing so, we have been successful. I believe that this is a model that a lot of people are living, not just unique to us. And I think the discussion that should be happening is focused on how to foster that talent, how to prioritize and really systemize how to cultivate that kind of talent, where to find them, how to engage people that are going to be the ones that begin carrying the torch for the next generation of our business, of our industry. I want to connect the dots, and I want to connect decision makers who are challenged with this problem to be able to think outside the box. It's what we have to do in my own job, and I know plenty of other broadcast engineers and managers that are getting creative with those solutions. This in turn would also serve as the beginnings of a funnel to be able to systematically introduce people that have the technical acumen to succeed in this field. If it's one thing that I've learned in my career, it's the importance of paying it forward. I wouldn't be as far as I am in my career or where I am today without the friendship and mentorship of many people along my career journey. I hope now to do the same for others by lending my voice to what I believe is a productive conversation and that will help cultivate the next generation of broadcast engineers in our industry that we love so much. I appreciate your consideration, and I thank you for listening.
Here's John Mackey.
Hello, my name is John Mackey, and I'm running for the SBE Board of Directors. I will keep this brief and focused as we all lead active lives. I am a married father of 3 children and recently retired from the U.S. Navy Reserves. I am also a former community college instructor. I was born and raised in Iowa, and at an early age I was intrigued by television band DXing and earned my amateur radio license in high school. Today, my call sign is KS0F. I am a member of the Northern Oregon chapter of the SBE and serve as the treasurer for that chapter. During my career, I have worked in military broadcasting based in Asia, AM and FM, both commercial and non-commercial broadcasting, and TV broadcasting, both commercial and non-commercial. For over 10 years, I have been certified with our highest credential of Certified Professional Broadcast Engineer, with a specialty in both digital radio and 8VSB, along with holding the Certified Broadcast Networking Engineer credential. In 2022, I started an LLC for contract broadcast engineering services, primarily focused in Oregon, Washington, and Hawaii. Today, we have challenges working with non-technical management, shrinking staff, shrinking resources, all while still being expected to do our job of broadcast engineering to the highest standards possible. I'm ready to help navigate these challenges. Broadcast engineering and the society has given me so much that I want to return the favor to engineering and to the society by serving on the SBE board. I would be honored to have your support. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for your support.
This is David Raitner.
Hello, I'm Dave Raitner. I'm running to be re-elected on the Board of Directors for the National Board of SBE. And I've been a broadcast engineer for about 45 years. I'm also a local director for the Seattle cluster of the SBE. I'd like to continue pushing to bring younger members into the national and local chapters, since they're falling few and far between these days. And I'd like to teach them high power RF so that they know how to run some of these big transmitters that are out there and not be scared of them. I also think that we should make good local use of AI, or national use of AI, but it has to be done properly and not misused. So please vote for me. Thank you.
Next is David Robakidze.
Hello, my name is David Robakidze, and I am proud to be a candidate for the SBE Board of Directors. I'm not from the United States. I live in Georgia, Republic of Georgia, which is just 6,000 miles away from US. But with SBE, I found my second family, and I'm really very proud to be a candidate. So I will have some notes with me, and with your permission, I will use my notes. Let me tell you more about myself. I am a broadcast engineer and system integrator and educator trainer with over 15 years of experience in television and multimedia industry. I'm founder and the chairman of IEEB, Chapter 148. This is a SBE first chapter, which is covering Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and Caucasus region. Right now, we have members from countries like Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Moldova, and Kyrgyzstan. Those countries and engineers from those countries never heard about SBE, and I spent more than 2 years to try to develop this kind of relation with them. The education and SBE should be one thing that is connecting engineers, not only in US, but in all countries. Growing and sharing knowledge, I think the best thing what really true broadcast engineers can do. I work very strong, and I am doing my best to make SBE a true international organization. But my goal is not to focus only on international members. I also have so many ideas and so many suggestions to help SBE to cover more engineers, to cover more fields, to grow certification and education, to make NS workshops much better. I would like to help SBE because SBE helped me. I really want to do everything what I can and share all my experience and share all my international experience with SBE to make it grow. I believe SBE should have like at least 20,000 members, not 4,000 or 5,000. And I believe SBE should be much more popular within younger generation. Maybe it will be a good idea to work with B2B kind of relation, to work with some organization, to help bring more engineers, to try to work with newer systems, which we saw at NAB, like NS workshop was really good, with old RF and new IP. And when we can have a both, it's an ideal solution. But again, I want to help SBE, I want to share my experience, and I want to grow SBE. And not only for as an international perspective, but for all US engineers, because of course, you are the main engineers. You are from who we need to train. So thank you so much. Again, I'm very honored, and I hope you will vote for me. Thank you so much.
And now, Dustin Tatro.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dustin Tatro. I'm Operations Manager and Chief Engineer for Westex Communications in Abilene, Texas. And some of the issues that I would like to address with an opportunity to serve on the board for the Society of Broadcast Engineers, I believe are issues that might affect our field in general and not just at the SBE level. Recruitment, for one. I have been personally approached by several contract engineers in my region that have been trying to talk me out of stepping away from the operations manager office and perhaps doing some contract engineer because they're ready to retire. And I feel like I'm just entering the prime of my career, and I kind of am not ready to step away from the stations that I designed, built, and operate every day for a friend. But where do we find that pipeline? There are so many folks in groups on social media of people that do audio and video tech for houses of worship, for instance. And our field, even at the SBE level, is not languishing at all. If you want to look at that pipeline, look at our testing numbers that are posted every month for certifications, especially the CTO level. There are people that are interested in broadcast engineering, that like to work on things, that like to do cool projects like our multi-station monitor panel that was built through AOIP. AOIP is an interesting thing to younger folks. But how do we attract that? We're doing a good job with our webinars. We're doing a great job with our mentor program, although we have mentors that have volunteered and are interested, but there are not enough mentees to go around. So how do we find those mentees? How do we find people in our little areas of the world where we can get people interested in broadcast engineering? It tugs at your heart to see almost daily on-air and programming positions getting eliminated and consolidated. But one thing we also need to remind ourselves of is that those broadcast engineering positions might go away slightly, but they're going to be around for a while. All of these transmitter sites are going to have somebody to run them. We'll be ready to have people to step into those roles. So in service on the SBE board, I would focus on initiatives to bring in and engage more mentees, younger people into the field, and a field that will be a lifelong career for them that they might not know exists. I'm Dustin Tatro.
Finally, here's Jeff Welton.
Hey folks, Jeff Welton here, and at this point you already know that I'm running for a seat on the SBE Board of Directors again. Was able to be fairly productive, I think, in the first term, and looking forward to the chance to continue to serve. One of the things that I'm most proud of, and this predates the first term a little bit, but we've got the SBE RF 101 ENIS courses going again at NAB after a little hiatus. I've been fortunate to be able to put together the agenda with a little bit of help and find a good crew of instructors to teach that course. So hopefully that's providing some value to our membership. I've done a lot of work with the Ennis Foundation as far as presenting at various sessions around the country. I'll be doing a few of them in the next couple of weeks. And been really fortunate to be given the freedom in my day job to go out and sort of set up engineering days, engineering training sessions. We just did one very recently in New Hampshire, and Brett brought the SBE in on that one as well to provide support. But looking for areas where there's either not a local chapter or the local chapter's dormant, or the state broadcast associations just aren't providing a whole lot of support for engineering. The biggest challenge I think I see for us as an industry, and don't get me wrong, there are several, but the biggest one is that we're slowly aging out of this industry. I mean, the average age of the broadcast engineer has consistently increased for the past 25 years. And that's not a viable long-term option. So it's something that we need to do our best to address. As of 2024, 18% of broadcast engineers who filled out the salary survey were 66 years or older. And that's that's kind of frightening. So it's something that I think is one of my primary focuses to try to address, both with bringing in younger members and with providing education for all of our existing members, because of course, as we all know, the technology is changing. It's changing fast and it's changing daily. And I see that in my day job. I mean, a box that we designed 5, 6, 7 years ago, in a lot of ways, will have a bunch of components that are pretty much obsolete, and you need to be re-engineered, redesigned, or updated. So the technology continues to change, and it's something that, as an industry, we need the educational resources, we need the fresh viewpoints, and I think we need to keep doing whatever we can do to help our industry grow. So, with that in mind, again, happy to serve if you're willing to have me. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.
And those are the candidates for the 2025 SBE election. Thanks to the candidates for providing their video introductions. As a reminder, electronic voting links were sent to all SBE members on July 14. Paper ballots were mailed the same day. You must cast your online vote by August 13 by 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have a paper ballot, it must be received at the SBE National Office by 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on August 13. If you are mailing a paper ballot, it is highly recommended to mail yours as early as possible. The U.S. Post Office continues to experience delays with first-class mail. We'll release the results of the election once all the candidates have been notified, which should be on August 14. The newly elected will take their positions during the SBE National Meeting, which will be held in Columbus, Ohio on September 24 and 25 during the Midwest Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Conference, presented by the state broadcast associations of Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Thanks for watching the SBE WEBxtra, the SBE chapter of the web, from the Society of Broadcast Engineers, the Association for Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Professionals. Thanks again to all the candidates for providing their videos. If you hold SBE certification, viewing the SBE WEBxtra qualifies you for 1/2 point in Category G. That's attendance. It's just like attending a local chapter meeting. If you have an idea for a topic or a guest for the SBE WEBxtra, send it to webextra@sbe.org. Thanks again for watching. I'm Chris Scherer, SBE Member Communications Director, and I'll see you next month.